Welcome to a new season on RPM, a new Citroën format, new generation cars, new young superstars and a new sponsor for Ireland's Premier Series, the Citroën Irish Tarmac Rally Championship. But the four times champion Eugene Donnelly isn't in the West to defend his title, so the entry has a youthful look. Alistair Fisher and Keith Cronin, the British champion, head the Group N galaxy of talent. And one young man in particular in his WRC entry will see this as his year to make the top step his own, Gareth MacHale. Welcome to the Safety Direct Galway International Rally, the traditional winter opener to the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship. Over the next 8 months, the new streamlined 6-round series won't leave these shores, and it all starts in the city of the tribes, the capital of Connaught, glorious Galway City. Established in 1124, Galway is now famous for its arts and oyster festivals and the famous Galway races. This is the 50th anniversary of the Galway Motor Club. The first Galway International was staged in 1971. Since then, the rallying heroes from Ireland and much further afield have taken on the often ice-sheeted roads and sometimes failed with spectacular results. The Galway Rally has never been easy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Moore in the east of Galway Bay provides the new start venue, with clerk of the course Gary Leonard waving off the 140-strong field. A ceremonial start to not just the Safety Direct event, but also a whole new season of hopes and aspirations. Starting at number 1, last year's championship runner-up, Gareth MacHale.
We've been second out the last 2 years in a row, so we want to try and go one more step up the podium, and hopefully it'll be a good year. Well, we need to sort of basically win here in Galway to start off as good as you can, and the best way to do that there is for a win. So yeah, we're pushing for a win, definitely.
His big challenger is Tim McNulty in his Subaru.
Last year in Galway we got 4 mile out of the first stage before the engine went, so I think we have it solved. I think the main battle between myself and Gareth, and I'll just have to keep an eye on him.
Also challenging is the 2009 British Rally champion Cork's Keith Cronin in a less powerful Group N Mitsubishi.
Stages are very, very tricky. Very easy to make a mistake out there, so I think the important thing at the start of the rally would be try to pick a good fast pace and just see from there.
Former Irish national champion Aaron MacHale has his slightly older Focus WRC, whilst another national frontrunner Kevin Barrett has his familiar S11 Subaru, and Sean Mullally on the pace notes. Alistair Fisher was third in the British Championship.
Yeah, Group N is going to be big this weekend. There's sort of only 6 or 7 drivers could win the class, so it's going to be very competitive. We'll just have to push from the off.
Gary Jennings has a fresher Mitsubishi at his disposal, but massive interest focuses on car number 9. Waterford's Craig Breen has big expectations for his new Ford Fiesta S2000.
I suppose the expectations are high, really high. A new car, a whole new concept in Super 2000. Here it is in Galway. The first time the cars appeared on this scene, so a lot of pressure is what a lot of people are talking about it. But all I need to do this weekend is just gain experience really and try and finish. I've got no pressure at all. It's just a case of building up mileage and towards the latter stages of the year is when we need to be getting results up.
Rolling off the Moore ramp is top Galway Motor Club crew Mike Bird and Kevin Keane in their WRC Impreza. The early action takes the cruise to Monivea, with its castle dating back to 1600 and its Cistercian Abbey. History that the crews will hardly have time to take in as they speed between the 3 stages. They'll tackle them 3 times on the first day. First through the mists in Monivea is Gareth MacHale, with former Galway winner Brian Murphy on the notes. Low fog, greasy roads and temperatures of 0 degrees make this a challenging opening loop for everyone. And inside the Focus, we see that more emphasis than ever is put on the pace notes, as visibility is limited in these conditions.
200.
Gareth was third fastest on the opener, but fastest on stage 2, despite this power steering worry.
I'm no steering! There's no steering? No! Right, okay, watch, square right.
Stage 3, Coleman's time, and the power steering glitch slows the Dubliner a little, which means at first service he's 3 seconds off the rally lead. Tim McNulty has a lot new this weekend. He switched his Impreza over to the McGeehan Motorsport Preparation Stable, who looked after Eugene Donnelly's machines. He also has Eugene's 4 times title-winning co-driver Paul Kiley in the hot seat, as well as BF Goodrich tyres. With fastest time on stage 3, the Meath man moves his CFS Subaru into the rally lead. Keith Cronin was 0.2 of a second faster than Tim on the slippery opening Belleville stage, but the young Ballylickey drivers' rally ended prematurely on stage 2.
Keith Cronin, great pace early on. You've been missing this afternoon. What happened?
Yeah, good stage time in the first one. I settled in quite well and going well again in stage 2. Felt good and comfortable, but just towards the end of the stage was a long, fast section into a very tight left-hand bend, and in the fog I just missed my braking point, and there was a gravel entrance to the right, but it was full of people, so I couldn't get down there, or I would have hurt someone, and so I had to try and make the bend, and I was carrying way too much speed. My own fault, I just left my brake in that fraction late, and we damaged the back diff. We hit the back off a tree, and that just put me out of the rally.
No such dramas for Gareth MacHale, who slots his Focus WRC into an early 5th place. His only delay, stopping briefly to check that Keith Cronin was okay. 30 seconds behind Aaron after 3 stages. Kevin Barrett and Sean Mullally have made a great start in their Triton Showers WRC Subaru.
Very slippy, 5 left, narrows, 40. 4 right, 100.
Kevin is adapting to Pirelli tyres for this season, and his times are getting faster as he gets used to the new rubber. Kevin won his first Irish National Rally last year, the Galway Summer Stages. A big supporter of Irish rallying, he's going well again in Galway this weekend. Alistair Fisher has former tarmac champion co-driver Rory Kennedy on the pace notes and has made an excellent start, 3rd overall and 1st in Group N after stage 3. Gary Jennings isn't so fortunate. After a good time on stage 1, his Evo breaks its gearbox near the start of stage 2. Craig Breen and Gareth Roberts have to carefully squeeze past.
Yeah, just watch it. Keep close to him. Flat crest and dip.
But they have the Vodka Kick Fiesta S2000 well wound up. By stage 3, they're 4th overall, just 1 second behind Alistair Fisher. This 2-litre non-turboed machine is to the same specification as Mikko Hirvonen's Monte Carlo winning car, and it's proving quite suited to the Irish roads. Galway Motor Club crew Mike Bird and Kevin Keane are having a solid start in their WRC Impreza and are destined to move higher later on. For man-a-man, Richard Cathcart is 7th overall and 3rd in class after 3 stages, 10 seconds ahead of reigning Group N tarmac champion Ger O'Donovan in his similar Group N Impreza. Another young charger, Johnny Greer, was 5th fastest overall on stage 1, but 2 off-road excursions on the next 2 stages end his event. There are glimmers of light as the crews head back out to the scenic Monivea area for the 2nd loop of these 3 stages. Gareth MacHale is running first on the road and is just under 3 seconds behind leader Tim McNulty.
Into 3 left, tightens badly.
Conditions are slightly warmer than the morning's opening loop, and Gareth is pushing the Focus here on stage 4.
It's okay, ahead to.
Amazingly, just 0.3 of a second separates Gareth and Tim on that stage. But here on stage 5, Gareth is about to retake the rally lead, though it's always on a knife edge in Galway with those slippery patches of tarmac.
Turn 2 left. 150. Turn 2 right around the bale.
Pressure is about to be eased considerably on stage 6, however, as Tim punctures.
We're out in the lead now by a minute, so everything's okay, but it's very, very slippy out there. We're sort of anywhere where it's slippy, we're backing off, and then when we see a clean line, then we'll sort of push. But I think today is just to get it back to Galway, you know.
Tim McNulty has been driving valiantly, but all his hard work is to deflate like his tyre on stage 6. Clipping a corner just too tight, Tim picks up a puncture and is now back in 5th, 1 minute 25 seconds behind Gareth.
Puncture on the last stage there on stage 6, so the pace can get a lot quicker. I mean, everyone is just bedding in, I think, but no, the pace can get a lot quicker, yeah.
Keeping it fast, clean and tidy, Alistair Fisher maintains a superb 3rd place overall with some excellent times, although he's been unable to stymie the progress of the new Super 2000 machine, which competes in the same class. Nevertheless, his nearest Group N challenger is over 2 minutes behind. Craig Breen is now really putting the hammer down in the Fiesta, and on stage 6, Colemanstown, he's just 5 seconds slower than leader Gareth MacHale.
70, 4 left plus short.
The Fiesta is being visibly more aggressively driven by the stage, and what is a remarkable debut so far for the car and the team. The Tom Gahan team also prepares leader Gareth MacHale's Focus WRC, so a little inter-team rivalry could spice up the series as the season progresses.
3 left minus, into flat crest 50, flat right 50, square right minus narrows.
Craig is now second overall after 6 stages, 58 seconds behind leader Gareth MacHale.
It surprised myself really. Just got into a really good flow this morning. You know, we kind of said we were going to treat it with a cautious approach, but we kind of went out the window after the first corner. So just got a really good flow, and with a small bit of trouble on the second stage. I thought we were in bother with the engine, but it seems to be just a sensor problem. So that was cured, and we had a really good loop there now, and we pulled time with Alistair on all the stages, I think. And you know, the last stage we had a really good go. So yeah, I'm really surprising myself, you know, more than anyone. So it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Aaron MacHale is now 4th overall, just 2 seconds behind Alistair Fisher, having spun and stalled, dropping 20 seconds on stage 6. Whilst Kevin Barrett is now 6th, 1 minute 18 seconds behind Aaron.
Crest and long 4 left. And 1 right. Into 1 left over crest, 30. 2 right and 1 left.
Kevin is reporting no dramas with his Kenny McKinstry run Subaru, and it's a good drive from a Maynooth man on these slippery roads.
Long 3 left and 1 right.
Richard Cathcart sadly retires his Subaru on stage 4 with gearbox failure after a heavy landing, just a few hundred yards from here. The crews head back to Oranmore, famous for its ancient castle, and the Thorballylee 16th century townhouse once occupied by poet W.B. Yeats. Back to the action, however, and Sean Flanagan climbs up throughout the day to end in 7th place overall. Alan Ring is just 7 seconds behind in 8th place, and Ger O'Donovan completes this 3-way battle in 9th. Mike Bird is a fine 10th overall despite jamming brakes and no intercom at one point. Kevin Barrett has no such worries as he ends the day in 6th place overall with the Triton Shars Subaru. Aaron MacHale is 5th, but a visible costly puncture on the final day's test costs him some time, the Colemanstown stage not proving to be his luckiest. Alistair Fisher brings his Evo into a fine 4th place overnight with no dramas to report. Tim McNulty and Paul Kiley have dragged themselves back up to 3rd, despite a final stage overshoot, and Tim must be conscious of picking up some points this weekend. Making a point in his Super 2000 Fiesta, 20-year-old Craig Breen is 2nd overall. Craig records a landmark achievement, the first fastest stage time for a Super 2000 car on an Irish tarmac round, the fastest time on the final day's stage. With bonus points available for S2000 and Group N machines, he could well be a title contender. Gareth MacHale has also had a great first day in Galway. With a lead of 1 minute 8 seconds, he has a comfortable cushion in hand. He made no mistakes on today's tests.
Right over jump, 70, 4 right. Caution.
The second day's 6 stages in the Loughrea area are expected to suit the faster cars, and Gareth can rest easy in the lead of this rally, which his father won a record 5 times. The Saturday action has been enjoyed by a huge crowd, and on Sunday the event moves to the mountains on the eastern Galway stages. Day 2 has a 9 a.m. start near Loughrea, not a day for the area's famed trout fishing. The action is in the mountains on the first Black Road stage, followed by the Dunleary test. Both of these will be repeated 3 times. Overnight leader Gareth MacHale is first onto the challenging 16-kilometre Black Road stage and starts well, just 0.5 of a second off fastest time. Onto the next 20-kilometre Dunleary test in the lower lands near Loughrea, and Gareth scores his first fastest time of the day, despite a worrying engine problem.
Tidy, narrow. I no power. 200. All right. No power. No. Right. 200 flat left. 300.
Craig Breen's task will be to try and stave off an advancing Tim McNulty today. It's obvious, however, that Craig is on a big attack as he uses all of the black road in his Fiesta.
60. Flat left, it's a crest and flat right.
Here on Black Road, Craig drops just 7 seconds to Tim, and a good run on the second Duneri stage means that Craig now holds a 30-second gap over McNulty. With 4 stages to go, it looks set to be a great race. Tim really woke up on the first stage to take fastest time. However, he dropped a few seconds to Gareth on the next test. Nevertheless, he's closing in on second place Breen, but the rate in which he does it is vital. A new team, new suspension, tyres and co-driver all seem to be working well for Tim. Back in the Oranmore precast service area, Gareth assesses his little problem.
Yeah, we've got a lead there at the minute, but just there in that second stage, the car seemed to go in safe mode, and I was getting warnings there. The water temperature's up at about 125 degrees, so she was sort of dropping all the power on us. But okay, we got to the end. Hopefully now the lads, I think it's a sensor. I don't think it's the engine. Hopefully it's not the engine now, it's just a sensor, and it should be alright, hopefully.
We just spoke to Gareth there, a few overheating problems. Is it worth putting a push on for the last 3 stages?
Yeah, definitely. Why not? I didn't realise those problems now, so that'll turn the wick up a small bit. But no, as I said before, it's a different class of car. I'm doing my job and he's doing his job, so that's all I can do.
A win in Galway would be nice though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to put it that way. So see what happens.
But is it worth putting a push on for you guys?
That's news to me now. We didn't hear that, so we're at 8/10. We were just concentrating on Craig there, but bit of a mess there on the last stage. But we still have 4 stages to go, and now that you told me that, we might have a change of plan.
Although Tim aims for a change of plan, not everything goes to plan in rallying. After a good run through stage 12, Black Road 2, Tim's Subaru succumbs to gearbox failure on stage 13. Unlucky for Tim and Paul, and what generally has been an unlucky event for the Meath man.
Yeah, 3 right over crest.
Gareth, on the other hand, can now keep his mind on the road ahead, as indeed a change of sensor has cured the engine temperature in his Focus. It's a matter of Gareth keeping cool now as he aims to add the MacHale name onto the Galway trophy for the 6th time. But on this safety direct Galway International, those famous stone walls are only ever inches away.
3 left long, loosen the exit, into 2 right plus. Repeat, into 2 right plus, 100.
Craig Breen's task in second place has now been made much easier with Tim's departure, but that doesn't mean he's cruising.
Okay, stop it, very slippy down here. 50, 3 right minus, then 6 right plus shiny.
And some sections of the Duneri stage require particular caution, as his co-driver pointed out.
3 right, 50. Long 6 right plus cut slippy, get through here, yeah?
The Super 2000 car has an 8,500 RPM rev limit, and it sounds glorious in the Galway countryside. Contrast the quieter evil of Alistair Fisher, but that doesn't mean it isn't fast. The young County Tyrone driver suffered 2 spins on the opener, but leaps ahead of Aaron MacHale after the second stage. Aaron also suffered a small spin on stage 11. Indeed, this battle rages through the day, with Alistair holding off Aaron on the next loop. But just 10 seconds separate the pair going into the day's final 2 stages. Out on the Sunday stages for a test run is Keith Cronin, and he once again proves his speed with the fastest overall stage time. Kevin Barrett has now speeded into 5th place overall as he and Sean Mullally slither the Subaru to the finish line of the Black Road stage.
Into turn 5 right. That's the fine finish on the 5 right here. People going through it all. That's it. Good man, all over, anti-lag off. Woo! Well done, well done. I got it.
About to slither their Subaru off the road for a short time are Sean Flanagan and Brian Duggan, dropping them down from 8th place. Alan Ring and Adrian Deasy have driven very tidily all weekend, and they had an 8-second buffer over Sean Flanagan before his crash, and 24 seconds over Ger O'Donovan. That was before Ger suffered this almighty off. on stage 11. It's a massive high-speed off, and thankfully Ger and co-driver Sean Haid are perfectly okay. Let's hope they can repair the Subaru before the Circuit of Ireland at Easter. With 2 stages left, it's the run home to look forward to in the Safety Direct Galway International Rally. Eamon Daly and Anthony O'Connell survived differential trouble and a brush with a wall to bring their Evo 9 home in 8th place overall. Monaghan's Sam Moffat has a good debut in his Evo 9 to take a fine 9th. Other Group N runners included Liam Higgins, 15th overall, just 1 place ahead of Aidan Burke with his Evo 9. Mike Byrne and Kevin Keane must be pleased with their weekend. Top Galway crew in 7th place overall. Alan Ring is a fine 6th and 3rd in Class 6 for Group N and S2000 cars. Kevin Barrett and Sean Mullally are a fine 5th in the Triton Shars Subaru after a well-judged drive. Alistair Fisher and Rory Kennedy are a fabulous 4th, a fine start to their season.
Yeah, things went well this weekend. We had a good battle with Gareth MacHale today, and unfortunately he got us on the last stage, but that's the way it goes.
Aaron MacHale and Eugene O'Donnell finished 3rd, putting 2 MacHales on the podium.
Had a good battle with Alistair today, and he was driving first well, and luckily I got 3rd in the last stage.
Young Craig Breen may not have won the rally, but he won many fans over the weekend with a superb drive to 2nd in Ford's latest rally challenger.
I would have been back watching this when I was a young boy. Austin McHale, Bertie Fisher, Frank Mardays, and these were real heroes of mine, and to set a fastest time in a car like that is just something I could never expected when I was sitting at home watching on the sofa. So I'm just absolutely chuffed to have done it this early, in the first round of the year. So hopefully we keep on plugging away. It might be on the top step towards the end of the year, but it's probably looking for a bit too much at this stage, so we'll see what happens.
Now Gareth MacHale clocks up his first Galway International Rally victory on an event that he's been leading almost throughout. It's a fine win for Gareth and Brian and the MacHale family, who hail from the west. The leaderboard shows a clear win for Gareth, but the Citroën Irish Tarmac Championship points table makes interesting reading as Craig and Alistair's extra bonus points for their cars comes into play.
I'm delighted now, really. So the Galway is probably the trickiest rally in the year, and it's great now to come here and to get the win. We started here on Friday number 1 there over the ramp. It's great to come back here number 1.
Part 2 of the Safety Direct Galway International Rally. With some wild motoring from the national and 2-wheel drive contestants. Galway is the stepping off point for the barren beauty of the county's extreme coastline. Combine this with a vibrant and youthful population. A fun-loving city that's an all-year-round destination. More and more, a haven for oyster lovers has the rally men coming out of their shells this week. The popular modified cars in the National Rally and the indecently quick new generation front-wheel drive Hondas, Citroëns and Fords in classes 2, 3, 4 and 5. Daniel McKenna has acquired Millington Power for his Mark II Escort.
With the car, only after getting the car in a brand new 2.5 Millington Diamond, and bumped up the 15-inch wheels there, so we have a lot of more. The car was sort of finished there in a panic, and we're basically going to use this as an experimental weekend, but hopefully we can make another run if we get the car set up the way we want.
Barry Mead has less power, but he's quick.
I'm going to aim to win my class anyway, class 13, but I doubt I'll be challenging young Daniel McKenna or Tom Flaherty for that matter, but we'll give it a go anyway.
You have a bit of a name for being quick in the wet. Maybe a bit of rain on Sunday?
Maybe the frost in the morning, but hopefully it'll stay dry tomorrow, but we wouldn't mind the rain. It doesn't really matter.
Barry, son of a well-known rally man, Vincent Mead, showed incredible speed on the Cork 20 rally last year, but if McKenna's Class 14 car is reliable, he'll have a problem. Local man Pat Kelly's Subaru runs amongst the escorts in the National Rally. And following the national runners who compete for the Tarmac Trophy, the Citroën Racing Trophy entries top the list. The C2R2s have been boosted by a €20,000 prize fund at each of the 6 Irish Tarmac Rally Championship rounds. It's a major investment by Citroën, who also put their name on the series. Martin McCormick, the British Junior Rally Champion, is the man to beat.
Yeah, big weekend. There's a lot of newcomers to the class this weekend, so it's going to be a big challenge just to try and keep on the road and see what way things play out. Who's going to be there? Who's going to be leading? Interested to see what way the pace plans out.
The national and front-wheel drive field use the same route as the World Rally and Group N cars. There are many quick enough to cause their big-budget brothers considerable embarrassment. They'll be tackled 3 times on day 1, centred on the historic town of Monivea, ancestral home of the French family whose origins date back to the 12th century. Through the mists of time, the McKenna Mark II appears, lights blazing and setting the timesheets alight. Daniel's dad has been involved in rally preparation in the Monaghan area for years. He's obviously taught his son to screw together a good rally car, as after the first 6 stages, Standard's Escort is 1 minute 20 seconds ahead of the national opposition. Barry Mead and John Hickey are doing what they set out to do, and that is to lead Class 13. However, the Limerick driver must be a little shocked at McKenna's pace. Remember, Mead gave Phil Collins in what is the ultimate Mark II quite a run for his money in Cork. Galway driver Pat Kelly, with Noel Lambert on the notes, has been consistently third fastest throughout the morning, and they'll return to Oranmore over 2 minutes behind the national leader. Tom Flaherty and Patrick Curley in their Class 14 Escort are equally consistent in fourth, but almost 4 minutes behind the class leader. Lumbahina's mascot is sadly not bringing the Toyota driver much luck on this occasion, as his Corolla twin cam has a broken exhaust manifold, and the Donegal driver is considering packing it in. Mervyn Wedlock and Damien McCabe, on the other hand, are having a ball, and lying second in Class 13 to Barry Mead. As we go on board with Enda McStravick and Aidan Campbell, we see just how hard it is to keep a Mark II Escort on the straight and narrow on these greasy Galway side roads.
250.
The County Tyrone crew are in a Class 12 Mark II, and they show us just how close those notorious Galway dry stone walls, which have claimed so many victims in the past, can get.
And then the square right. 40. Middle junction. 100.
Another Galway crew, Richard Whelan and Grace Loughran, have their Honda up to 5th after 6 stages, but up front it's total domination. The McKenna Grennan Mark II has been fastest in every stage.
I can't believe how much we're on the pace. The brand new engine in there and stuff. We had a couple issues with the suspension in the back, got that sorted after stage 2, and it's just been going really well, thank God.
You were saying you changed wheel size there last night before the start. Has that made much of a difference?
Yeah, well, it has. It's probably it gives you more traction and stuff with the power, especially on a slippy day like today. But the car seems to be a lot floatier over crests and stuff that day. I have to watch it, but then we're carrying a lot more speed than we ever would have. But it seems to be a good job.
Now almost a minute and a half behind, the Mead team have had tyre selection problems.
We improved the car immensely, and when we changed the tyres, we put on a narrower Kuma. It's an intermediate tyre and it's way better known this evening.
Did you do anything about Daniel?
No, I think I'm as close as I can, to be honest. I keep him 7-8 seconds now. This morning he was 20-23, so I'm happy with that. Like, he's a 2.4, I'm 2 litre, but at the same time he's just a serious operator. You know, he's up to 5th, I think, in the main rally, like, so he's beating the WRC car. He's just a great pilot, like.
Respect indeed, and well it might be, with the McKenna Mark II now 1 minute 28.5 seconds ahead after 90 competitive kilometres over the first 2 runs through the Belfield, Winfield and Colemanstown stages. The national runners may be a bit spread out, but it's a very different tale amongst the international front-wheel drive classes. The Citroën of top seed Andrew Bush leads the way, but is in for a difficult weekend. However, a 1600cc Citroën is leading the 2-litre Renaults and Hondas in the early morning mist. Marty McCormack is hoping to use the considerable Citroën prize money on offer in the Irish Series to finance an attack on the French C2R2 Championship. And he's going about it the right way. After 3 stages, he and Welsh co-driver Di Roberts are 9th overall in the international field.
The stages would suit the car to a certain degree. There's areas of the stages where you can carry a lot of speed, and the cars are very, very good at that. You know, they're not the most powerful car, but they're very good at carrying speed and very good over bumps and crests. So it's all about just trying to get it. It's trying to be going very fast in the fast places, but going very slow in the tight things that are really greasy, because they'll just catch you out.
Dara O'Riordan and Tony McDade, the Cork crew in the Renault Clio R3, are next up, but they've picked slick tyres, the wrong choice for these conditions. Tommy Doyle and Saoirse Kelly from the Midlands have also been delayed with a broken exhaust on their Renault Clio. They'll get it fixed in service. Andrew Hockridge and Darren Garrett, who brought their Citroën C2R2 Max from Wales, set fastest time on stage 1, but retire on stage 2. The Galway crew, David Quigley and Des Sherlock, are flying in their Honda Civic EK4. And here's acknowledged Honda quickman Conor Harvey from Donegal. So quick he's dicing for the 2-wheel drive lead. Adrian McElhinney, another Donegal driver, is next up amongst the Citroëns, and he even has time to acknowledge our presence. Now we go on board with a Fiesta convert and a former Formula Ford racing champion, Robert Barrable. Damien Connolly is on the notes. Robert is the youngest of the remarkable Barrable dynasty. Father Michael raced and rallied. Big brother Peter races Formula Ford in England. And young Robert is already fifth on his first day in a C2. Two OMA drivers have first stage problems. Mark Donnelly will retire with a broken gearbox and Declan Leonard rolls out of the rally. Mark Kane and Don Montgomery will also exit with a roll in the second run through the Belleville stage. Donegal's Joe McGonigal has switched from Honda to Citroën this year. Cork's Shane Buckley is another quick Citroën newcomer. The Fiesta ST ranks have suffered from the Citroën prize fund, with only 5 of these swift little Fords in the entry. Stephen Wright and Paul McGee from Monaghan lead them. 19-year-old Darragh Leonard, son of the Group NA Seamus Leonard, lies second in the class. Then it's Desmond Henry from County Antrim, who's in his second season of Fiesta rallying. Stephen Baxter and Carl Atkinson led in their R2 Fiesta after 6 stages, but retired after stage 7. So the top 5 two-wheel drive crews at the end of the first day are Robert Barrable and Damien Connolly on their C2 debut in 5th. Dara O'Riordan and Tony McDade switched to a softer tyre compound, and it's transformed the Clio. But Tommy Doyle and Saoirse Kelly are almost a minute ahead in their Renault. Conor Harvey and Gerard Callaghan are on a real charge and now just 2 seconds behind McCormick's leading two-wheel drive entry. And here are the first day heroes, Marty McCormick and Di Roberts, and boy are they happy about it. As ever, the die-hard enthusiasts stay on for the national runners, and particularly their Never Say Die Mark II escorts. Enda McStravig and Aidan Campbell epitomise the club men entries as they guide their pride and joy down the Galway lanes. They're in the same rally as the big boys, driving over the same stages. They may be some minutes behind the McKenna Mark II, but who cares? This is the life. And to be 15th in the strong national field is very commendable. So the top 5 nationals after the first day of the Safety Direct Galway International Rally read Irvin Wedlock and Damien McCabe, who are second in class 13 in their 2-litre Mark II. Tom Flaherty and Patrick Curley are in 4th in their 2.4-litre example, just 4 seconds ahead. Then it's Pat Kelly and Noel Lambert upholding local honours in 3rd place, but they've had central differential problems. Barry Mead and Johnny Hickey fell the throttle over this roller coaster road section. The Limerick pair comfortably led class 13, but they've no answer to the Millington engine-equipped leaders, who after 9 stages are 2 minutes ahead. What a day it's been for Daniel McKenna and Andrew Grennan. They've been fastest on every test and provided the fans with much of the old Mark II magic. When you compare their times with the main international rally, they would be in 7th place overall, only headed by the McHales, McNulty and Barrett in their World Rally cars, Green's incredible Super 2000 Fiesta and Fisher's Group N. A dominating day then for McKenna and Grennan, with little change behind them in the top 5 nationals. The 16-kilometre Black Road and 20-kilometre Dunleary stages will be passed over 3 times on the Sunday run, and Daniel McKenna continues to dominate. He posts his 10th fastest time on stage 10, but on the first run over the Dunleary stage, the Mark II clips a rock and he has to back off. It's only a minor blip, however, as the gap between him and Mead, seen here, is still 2 minutes 42 seconds.
Yeah, we're a 2-minute lead in the national section, so we're just going to bring her home now at this stage.
You happy enough with the new engine, new setup, yeah?
Oh, everything's brilliant, yeah. We're still tweaking a wee bit with the suspension because it's slippier today, but it'll take a wee while to get used to it, but overall very happy now, yeah.
Barry, still second in the modified class. Your rain never came?
Never came, yeah, but it's still worse out there. We prefer the rain to dirty road, but we'll be staying where we are, I'd say, second, and if we bring her home in second, that'll do anyway.
There's no change in the afternoon as Daniel continues to top the timesheets. He'll no doubt have greater Class 14 opposition to deal with as the season rolls on, but the Monaghan man is already making a strong bid for that national tarmac rally trophy. Barry Mead does seem to have settled for second. It's a sensible decision, as equal points are awarded to the top 3 classes in the national rally. Kelly will remember stage 2 as on the first run over the 20-kilometre Dún Laoghaire stage, the Subaru breaks the Ford Monopoly to take a fastest time. He slowed, however, later in the rally with a broken exhaust. Another Galway crew, Tom Flaherty and Patrick Curley, are keeping their South Galway Tyres Mark II out of trouble. They're in 5th place. Mervyn Wedlock and Damien McCabe are fellow county men to the national leader, and the Monaghan crew lies second in Class 13. We can see that Richard Whelan and Grace Loughran have been trying in their Safety Direct Civic. They're 6th amongst the national runners and will win Class 11. The Honda Championship has grown enormously. Peter Wilson and John Kilmurray are next up. Alan and Kenneth Shield are 3rd in the Civic class, with Jason Sweeney and Dennis O'Mahony coming home 5th. Patrick and Gerard Dively had climbed to 4th in Class 11 before their retirement. And Fergal Allen and Eamon Walsh revived memories of the M3 glory days before their exit. We're down at ground level on Enda McStrathag's Mark II Escort as we run over the Black Road and Dún Laoghaire stages for the last time and head towards the National Rally Countdown. We've covered 232 high-speed stage kilometres over the 2 days, to say nothing of the normal road mileage between the stages and Oranmore Service Park. And like the 75 other survivors, is looking forward to that refreshing pint and the friendly banter with his fellow competitors at the finish. Car number 131 will be 12th amongst the 32 national finishers. He's a happy clubman. The 00 car clears the road for the winners. First, the Historics. There may have been a disappointingly low entry, but there's been plenty of that old-time action up front. Lochray Rally veteran Martin Ward and his wife Linda are right on the limit in their Opel Manta. Ray Cunningham and Adrian Cusack have obviously been over the limit. Following the Mini's moment on stage 7, the Opel has had to keep the pressure on to win, as the Galway Mini centre men have done well to repair their Cooper S, but in the end they were nearly 8 minutes behind. Aidan O'Connor and Ian Regan were a further 2 minutes adrift in their Escort. With Niall Keane and Sean Hennigan, the final finishers, Nell Hillman of Enger. Martin Craven didn't get his Mark I Escort back to Galway. Neither did Brian Brophy in his Imp. But it's great to see these veterans on the stages, and in many cases that applies to both man and machine. Only a couple of stages to go now, but the two-wheel drive situation is on a knife edge. Marty McCormack has dominated the event, even leading the more powerful 2-litre Renaults and Hondas.
Flat crest 60, 2 right, opens about 30, times the 30, flat tire.
But on stage 10, the Rebound-sponsored car collects not 1 but 2 punctures, dropping them over 2 minutes and dropping them behind Robert Barrable in the Citroën Racing Trophy. There's a queue at the top of the Black Road stage as Marty holds up Conor Harvey, who's about to take over the two-wheel drive lead. At last, a gap where they can let the Honda through into 11th place overall.
1 right tightens the 2, and it's a 4 left minus, 4 left.
Tommy Boyle and Saoirse Kelly are now up to second in the category, just 21 seconds behind the Honda. The Longford driver has also been delayed behind the Citroën. Dara O'Riordan and Tony McDade are 40 seconds behind the leading pair. The order amongst the nationals may have been processional, but these little front-wheel drive screamers are putting on quite a show. We're now on board with the new Citroën Racing Trophy leaders, Robert Barrable and Damien Connolly. But it's only a 4-second lead, and there are still 5 stages to go.
Middle of a flat crest, and 6 right. 60, 6 right, and middle of a crest, and 6 left. 100, turn 2 left. 6, okay, 100 now, turn 2 left.
Robert has adapted very quickly to his new C2R2 Max, but the British junior champion is closing in again. And after stage 11, McCormack gets a break and goes back into the lead.
Plus over crest, repeat 3 left plus 80 here. 4 right plus over crest, and the 6 left 60.
I think Marty McCormack got a puncture 4 or 5 kilometres into the first stage this morning, and then he checked in late into the next service, so I think we're all square there now, but he's after getting a 23-second jump on me because the last stage was cancelled, so he got the time before him. So.
Okay, we just spoke to him there. He said you picked up the pace yesterday. He was a little bit worried about you. 4 stages to go.
I don't know, we're just going to cruise to the end now, but if it's this close, I'm sure you'd have to put the pressure on. It'd be a shame to lose it at this stage.
Marty, you had a huge lead yesterday. It seems to be all gone. What happened?
Yeah, well, that's rallying, as I say. Unfortunately, we encountered 2 punchers on the first stage this morning, so we lost a considerable amount of time. We in around 2 minutes. So and the second stage there was cancelled. So we're trying to get the car, check the car over, make sure we've no damage. We drove a considerable length on a puncher and make sure everything's all right, and go out now and see if we can regain the lead.
The man in the two-wheel drive lead now is Conor Harvey, but that's also to be short-lived as the Donegal driver will damage a wheel after a heavy landing. So Tommy Boyle and Saoirse Kelly now go to the top of the timesheets in this dramatic end of the Galway International. Cruelly, the Longford driver won't taste the champagne tonight as the gearbox in his Clio gives up the ghost on the penultimate stage. Cruel luck. Now it's Dara O'Riordan and Tony McDade out in front. But for how long? 2 stages is the answer. Their front suspension goes on fire and the court pair drop 2 minutes. You wouldn't believe it if it was in a movie. Stage 12. And Marty McCormack has been re-handed the Citroën lead due to that stage 11 cancellation.
And 4 left over 30 early.
And Dye is certainly egging him on.
4 right tightens, turn 6 slippy, turn 6 right slippy. Over finish. On the power after it, go on. Leave a go now, power on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
The stage 11 cancellation has certainly not helped Barrable, who now trails car 30 by 16 seconds. But this is a very fired up Dubliner.
4 right, sudden square right over finish. Sudden square right, 80.
Then there's another cancelled stage. Time and miles are running out in this dramatic climax for the two-wheel drive and Citroën Racing Trophy competitions. But Robert Barrable is about to get another bonus. He's got his foot to the floor and he's catching Keith Cronin. But there's more drama further down the stage.
5 left into 5 right over crest, and 6 left over crest, 45 left plus pass sign, 100.
Can you believe it? On the penultimate stage, McCormack gets another puncture and drops a further 30 seconds. It's been a highly frustrating rally for him, and this third puncture costs him time and money. So it's a 20-kilometre shootout in the final test for that fabulous €5,000 first prize, and Robert is determined not to let that type of money slip through his fingers.
6 left okay, and middle of a crest, small bump at 200, bump here, 200.
Formula Ford winner, Fiesta ST Rally winner, and now Citroën Racing Trophy winner. This young lad is versatile and €5,000 richer after his Galway weekend.
Marty had 1 or 2 problems, and then when we got back on his pace, we had a fair go, and finally on the last stage we actually bet him by 2 seconds, which was probably in a fair out and right fight, so we're happy enough.
After a roller coaster ride for two-wheel drive honours, it's Conor Harvey and Gerard Callahan who finally make it, and in 10th place overall amongst the international runners. It's interesting that the fastest of the 1600cc Citroëns was only 20 seconds behind the 2-litre Honda at the end of the 2 days rallying. The national result was never in doubt from the start, with Daniel McKenna and Andrew Grennan producing an almost faultless drive which would have placed them 6th in the international rally. Barry Mead and Johnny Hickey trailed them all the way, and their time would have given them 8th place in the international. Daniel McKenna took fastest national time on all but one of the stages. His winning margin, a convincing 2 minutes 48 seconds. And we look forward to seeing him among the quicker Class 14 runners later in the season. On this form, he looks capable of dealing with the very best.
We were punching some good times there yesterday, but we just kept a nice steady pace and we keep the concentration up. But a good fun there, and I've had loads of sideways stuff going on, so happy out.
So it's goodbye to Galway after another great weekend.